Hello friends! Today I will tell you about a film called Hippopotamus. The film tells how a man, suffering from a mental disorder, kept a girl in the basement, giving her birth control pills, and then doing it with her. Okay, first things first. At the beginning of the film, we see how the girl wakes up in a dark basement. She does not know anything about herself, does not remember who she is and how she ended up here. In addition, both her legs are broken and her head hurts badly. Next, a man appears before us, who introduced himself as Thomas. He reports that the girl's name is Ruby, but the main words of the guy were that he kidnapped her and intends to keep her until the girl falls in love with him. Thomas then tells the plan of how he wants Ruby to get well soon. The guy will help the girl in everything, namely to wash and go to the toilet, because due to injuries, the girl is not able to do this. He will also feed Ruby 3 times a day and give her birth control pills. In the next scene, we see a young girl unable to remember anything at all. Also, Ruby completely refuses to take pills, but the kidnapper turned out to be persistent, saying that she would make things worse for herself. After a short conversation, Thomas leaves. The girl sees the handbag with her things intact. She was lying on a chair here in the basement. Apparently the guy did it on purpose. Left alone, the girl barely managed to get to her. Quietly opening her purse, she found some things, including a driver's license and a tennis ball. But when Thomas' footsteps were heard, Ruby hurried back to her seat. The guy did not video anything, but when leaving, he strongly recommended that she not move, because the girl could fall, which would be detrimental to her health. The girl continued to ask Thomas what was happening, but the guy only repeated that he intended to keep her until she fell in love with him, and birth control pills are needed to stop the menstrual cycle, and nothing more. Finally, the girl asked the guy if he had seen her before the abduction, to which Thomas reacted extremely aggressively and angrily, as if he was hiding something from the girl. The next day, when Ruby was alone, she reached into her purse again and began comparing the photo on her driver's license with her reflection in the small mirror. At this time, Thomas watched with curiosity everything that was happening. Ruby breaks the mirror into many pieces, and when she heard Thomas blowing his nose outside the door, she hid a large piece of the mirror and the bandage on her leg. Day after day passed. The guy constantly kept order and cleanliness in the basement and reminded the girl that she would not be able to escape, even if she really wanted to. One day, Ruby decided to ask her kidnapper a question. What would happen if she could not fall in love with him? The girl did not receive an answer, but Thomas promised to bring her whatever she wanted. Then Ruby asked for a pillow, a blanket, and a book. When the guy brought all the things, Ruby began to read the book and realizes that she has already read it before. Thomas said that this is her favorite book, thereby helping her restore her memory at the expense of past memories. After that, the guy brought his hostage not just tea, but red tea, the drink that she preferred before being here. Ruby has earned associative thinking and some of the past memories returned to her. All of these items are triggers for her brain, as Thomas explained to her. Studying Ruby's book with the help of a mirror shard that she kept in her leg, he finds an encrypted clue that says that the girl should not trust him. She understands that there were other deceived girls before her, but Ruby does not yet know that these are her inscriptions. In the next scene, the guys have a joint dinner, where the girl directly asked Thomas about it, but he replied that he had no one except Ruby. The next morning, having solved the next clue that was in the book, Ruby finds a hiding place in the wall, where there was a huge amount of used matches, with which these messages were written. Then the girl, left alone, decides to remove the bandages from her legs. Finding no injuries, Ruby secretly began to take her first confident steps. At night, Ruby deciphered the clues, did various physical exercises, bringing herself into physical shape, but at the same time she did not show that she was feeling much better. The girl remembered the words written in the book that she should pretend, so Ruby did, waiting for the right moment. Late in the evening, the man prepared a special dish for the girl, and after tasting it, Ruby was transported to the past, where she was sitting with a man in a restaurant, eating the same dish and was happy. The guy admits that he was that man and they were in a relationship, but the girl was not sure of the authenticity of these memories, which gives her the right to say that Thomas is lying. For a romantic setting, the guy turned on the music and invited Ruby to a slow dance. This is also a trigger for her brain. In her memoirs, she also danced with a guy, where they confessed their love to each other. To show the extent of his trust, Thomas gave Ruby a remote control for the lights and music. Ruby thought it was cute and she decided to dance for the guy. And when it came to intimacy, new memories returned to her. That very night, the girl was with her boyfriend in a bar. He wanted to ask Ruby why there had been no intimacy between them for a long time, to which the girl left it off and constantly changed the topic of conversation. Soon they went home in a drunken state. When the fan walked Ruby home, he did not want to accept her refusal and took what he wanted with the use of force. Feeling something was wrong, Thomas arrived at the girl's house. Seeing the open door, he quickly entered the house, where he saw a disgusting scene. In a fit of rage, Thomas crippled the guy. Ruby was already unconscious. Thomas decides to pick up the girl and take her north. She was still in a deplorable state and could not utter words. Then Thomas stole the boat and took it to the island, where he found an abandoned farm. He kept his hostage in the basement and set out to regain memories or form new ones. The guy developed his own technique and played various scenarios in front of the girl, even pretending to be a doctor, furnishing the basement as a hospital ward. Now he had to play the role of a kidnapper, who should make her believe that her legs were injured, and this paid off. After long trainings and attempts to surround the girl with care, the guy returned Ruby's memories and is now happy. Ruby seemed happy too. They were just the two of them and passion arose between them. But at least Thomas thought so. When the guy was sleeping on the girl's bed, Ruby took out a shard of a mirror and began to act. She was sure that her memories were not true, and Thomas was just a psychopath and a maniac. Ruby landed many blows and managed to get out of the dark basement and onto the street. The exhausted girl ran to the river, where she saw a spoon. But at one moment she faints from weakness and falls to the edge of the river. In the final scene of the film, we see how the girl woke up in the same basement, stylized as a hospital ward. A doctor stood in front of her, saying that the operation was successful, but the girl had a blackout. Before leaving, he said that he would notify her boyfriend that she had come to her senses. It was Thomas. Friends, thanks for watching. Do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Bye everyone. See you soon.